Hey guys, how's it going? Soul64 here. Little disclaimer, I feel like a nose pass that got hit by an ice beam, so if you hear any sniffles, then I'm sorry. It may sound a little bit unprofessional, but hopefully it doesn't happen. I'll try my best. So, I have a match against TheAche, the headache. So, around this time, during my battles, like maybe the week during when I was battling, I had an issue where my opponent would lead off with his lead and my lead, and these leads were both setup leads, stealth rocks, spikes, etc. And it was hard because we'd both get our hazards up, but then it'd be to the point where I'd be struggling to get his hazards off, so I'd be in this stalemate, and then I'd have to work hard to get momentum and then pretty much win the match. So yeah, I'd either have even number of Pokemon, albeit one or two less than he would during the match. So it was a bit of a problem. I didn't like it. So what I did was that I switched it up. I decided to lead with a powerhouse like TheAche, and pretty much destroyed TheAche. Yeah, the guy I'm facing. Pretty much destroyed my opponent to the point where he thought that he'd lose the game. Now that was interesting because he had an Aerodactyl which brought problems. He presented problems against my Pokemon. Like, he could use Skydrop to pretty much hit Galade and Venusaur hard, and like rock moves to hit my Kyurem. Now, gonna digress a little bit here. I know I haven't been narrating. I've just been talking about how my matches have been going. He could have written to his Klefki, predicting the Dragon Claw, and that would have pretty much halted my momentum right there after the protect he did, which wasn't a good move as you saw earlier on. But he was predicting the Flare Blitz, hence why he went into Arcane Line, and the fact that you didn't see Intimidate activate at that point meant he was Flash Fire, so he can go into Arcane Line and then block the Flash Fire and get a Fire Boost, which would have been negligible because one, I times will resist it, and two, the best thing he could have done at that point was Extreme Speed me, and I would have knocked out with Dragon Claw. So yeah, I don't know. He didn't do a good turn there. Maybe if he's watching this, then he'd realize, oh yeah, I could have done that. But anyways, okay, so I'm gonna go back into the battle now. My Elephante, my Donphan, is gonna go for knockoffs. I can click knockoff haphazardly because in single matches you're gonna be bringing items, and anything that comes in, I can just go like slap it off your hands. So that's what I did. But because of the fact that he has one turn through the sleep, he might wake up and do something dangerous to my Donphan, so I decided to get out of there, go into my Drapion, and he does indeed wake up. He goes for the Ice Beam. Luckily I don't freeze, and yeah, I'm in a good position. Now, I know he has an Espeon. I was thinking of going for the knockoff again, but then why would I do that? Because I already knocked off Gashdo's item, so I thought, you know what, let's go for the Toxic Spikes. If he does switch into Espeon, which he did, that's fine. I have two poison types. At some point I'm going to go back into my Venusaur and absorb them again. So at this point, he stays in. I can go for the knock off his Life Orb. It was a Sash, so he wouldn't be able to live that, the Flare Blitz or the Dragon Claw anyway. So he decides to go into a Sableye. At this point, well, not this point, but the next turn, his decisions become a little bit more lax because he's under the impression that he's still in the losing battle, and I'm just trying to play strong because at some point when he does bring his Aerodactyl, I need to be prepared for it. So I go for the Confuse Ray after he taunts me, which is bad, so I'm pretty much going to go for the knockoff to knock off his item, which is a good idea. So he decides to go for the foul play on my Drapion earlier. I don't, like I said, his decisions are becoming lax. Then he decides to go for the Shadow Claw, which would have been not very effective on my Drapion Ivor. What the hell? Anyway, he does switch out, goes into his Gastrodon. I'd say that's a bad idea. The reason why I say it's a bad idea because you're gonna see he goes into his Sableye, which takes more damage to the point where I can just get good drain him there. If he hadn't switched out, maybe his Sableye would have lived, but I don't know. It's just at this point he's just playing turns. He said he was gonna play it through, so that's what he's doing. So because of that, he loses his Gastrodon and his Sableye, and all he has left now, I believe, is the Klefki and the Aerodactyl, which he hasn't actually brought out yet. I'm surprised. Maybe because rocks are up, he's afraid to bring it out, because if he does bring it in the second time, he'll be at 50% HP. Even less if I decide to hit it somewhere in between. So here I'm just gonna gauge to see how much Giga Drain does get a bit of HP back in the process. Then I'm gonna switch out because obviously the typing is not very good against Klefki. So he decides to go. Now I decided to go into my Donphan, bulky Pokemon, good in defense and whatnot. But the foul play does do quite a bit. That's because of a few reasons. One, this is a really weird spread that I had ages ago, like back in the days of Black and White. I haven't got max HP and I haven't got max defense, but I do have max attack, so foul play is going to be doing a lot to me in that calculation. He stays in, he doesn't switch out into his Aerodactyl, maybe because he thinks I got Ice Shard, which I don't. And he lets his Klefki go down to an Earthquake. Now here, he doesn't Mega Evolve. You can tell it's a Mega Pokemon because the knockoff didn't happen then and is the only last possible Pokemon to do so. So, I go for the knockoff, doesn't do that much. I don't get the bonus because, like I said, I can't knock off the Mega Stone. He decides to go for the Iron Head. Had he actually Mega Evolved before, as he came in, he would have been able to take me out without the flinch, and he would be doing more damage because Tough Claws increases the physical attacks, and Iron Head should be included because it hits physically. But, just basically the hit button. Yeah. Anyways, my Gallade is Scarfed, Adamant, but he doesn't outspeed Aerodactyl, which is good to know. So I'm going to switch out for a Jolly. Scarf one later down the line. Spoilers. But yeah, I don't know why he didn't reveal much of his moveset, but maybe that's because he thought that he was quote unquote losing. But yeah. Anyways, that's going to be the game. If you did like it, then please do give it a like and subscribe if you're new. That'd be very, very lovely. And yeah, I'll try and get better. So until next time, later.